All right, what's poppin', Tub Nation? How's it going, people? Welcome back to Tub Takes. This is a video podcast where we go over what's been making waves in the VGC scene. Today, I am joined by, well, not Adi. Adi's not here. So I guess no co-host. You could call Nails my co-host. How's it going, Nick?
I'm doing okay. Welcome to Tub Takes, everybody.
He's been on this thing before, more than some. Somebody else who's been on a few of these before is Jeudy. How's it going, Jeudy?
I'm going good. Cannot complain. I'm just ready to yap. That's really it. Got to get my yap quota up.
That's what I'm here for. And we've got Mars here, off of a top 16 finish in the GC. How you doing?
Doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you for inviting me. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to yap with you guys.
All right. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, we're going to be talking about a couple of different things that Jeudy getting right to it. Jeudy, you got to make them wait a little bit longer for it. Anyways.
I realized I was wearing my shirt backwards.
Oh,
yeah, we're locked in now.
Okay. So anyways, yeah, we're going to be if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. We'll be following along there. And this is going to be uploaded on YouTube. Well, I can't say that. Adi's the one that does the uploading to YouTube, so it's gonna be on YouTube.
Whenever Adi gets around to it, he's currently on vacation, so it actually we might have to do something else. Maybe I'm the guy who has to upload it.
Yeah, right. Nick's gonna upload it to his channel. Yeah, normally it's gonna be uploaded onto Adi's YouTube channel here, but if he doesn't get around to it, that's because he's on vacation. So just be patient, please. Anyways, yeah, the topics this week are the Grand Challenge, the upcoming. I want to say it's a regional. In Europe, it is a regional. Cool. I won't try to say it yet. You gotta wait. You gotta wait to hear me pronounce that one again, even though we said it again last year, almost a year ago, I guess. Anyways, yeah. Then we're also going to be talking a bit about the Premier Ball League in the Philippines. They had another one there. We don't have results from it yet, so I'm only going to be sharing a funny anecdote from it that we saw on Twitter. Let's go ahead and launch into it, though. So first up, we're going to be talking about a bit of housekeeping, and that is just the signups for the Carolina Special. This one might have filled up. I couldn't easily look. I just tried to click through the signups myself, and it was just a few too many steps for me to bother checking, but I heard it only had 100 slots for Masters. So if you wanted to attend this tournament in Puerto Rico, then you either needed to be on that one a little bit more, or you might have missed that one. Maybe it's still open. If you're watching this now and you haven't signed up but you wanted to go, definitely go. Do it now, because 100 slots is pretty slim. I don't have Adi here. He's the champion of wanting to go to. He wants to fly south for some event. That's what he's looking for. But he's not here this time. So.
No, I think that's true. There are a lot of American players that are eyeing tournaments in Mexico and Puerto Rico, and I think it's going to be very interesting if there's only 100 slots, or very few slots for these type of tournaments, because
So I mean, it looks like signups are still available. I've just been clicking through right now, and I can get to the payment screen. So
okay. Good.
Nice.
Reg G. Wait, no. Chill. Wait, is it actually? Hold on.
No,
wait.
It's in February.
Oh, so it is Reg G. Oh, okay. So it's supposed to be Reg G.
Yeah.
Got it. It says Reg G here, and I was just wait, are we really doing this? But no, Reg G is actually correct. Okay.
Yep.
It's kind of crazy how early it is, right? The signups are in October for a February tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I at least gotta say I don't mind it. It's a little bit tricky, what is the correct time? But we were having these complaints with too late signups. Signing up too late is also pretty annoying because you don't want to book your flights to London if you don't know if you got in, and so we were always saying earlier signups would be nice. Of course, on the flip side, if the signups fill up really early, like they're really slim. You might sign up to a tournament you have no idea if you're going to go to because it's so many months away. I don't know if there's a best, case solution besides, of course, like having enough seats for everyone to possibly play in the tournament that wants to.
Yeah,
But
or like
regardless, I feel like
refunds.
earlier is a little bit more consumer friendly than later, I guess.
100%. No, like 100%. I think that I think it's really just the refund policy that people are hating, but maybe it's like
True.
good because it like stops people from like holding a slot, but like sometimes you really don't know. Like I think we talked right before. I'm still thinking about Toronto, right? Which I'm grateful Toronto is up, right? But had I like taken it and then been like, actually, I don't really want to go to Toronto. It's just like, oh, well, now what do I do besides having taken a slot, right?
Yep.
But this is great. Yeah,
we've had this talk before about like I think it came up for NOLA last year with Nats, where there were people who learned about the event like a week or two before, and it's just like they
like
had
locals.
no opportunity to sign up.
Oh, the
locals.
Yeah.
And those people just getting squeezed out of the event in favor of sweaty Americans or
flying
who
from all over.
traveled in. Yeah, kind of sucks. So I do kind of wish there were waves of registration. Like some, I think that most of the slots going out this far in advance is good, but you should have some slots that just open up like probably a week before, just for local scene.
It would be a little crazy, but like I get what you're saying. Like it's a tricky thing to find the solution for, definitely, because yeah, like it is like, how do you strike the balance between it being like the U.S. Pokemon convention for players from all over the U.S. also being a convention that you find out is in town and you're like, oh, that'd be cool, I'd love to go, and it's just like, oh yeah, did you not sign up months ago? Like, what do you like? You wouldn't even hear about it then if you were just a lot more casual. So yeah, that's pretty brutal.
Like, there's probably going to be some new players that start playing in Puerto Rico between now and the event, and they're just out of luck, or maybe someone who signs up now loses interest in the game and just moves away. And this is always going to be a small portion of the field, and like if you have finite spots, it's like always just going to be one person gets in, one person gets out. But like there's probably some like populations that deserve it a bit more than others. So
we just need a good refund policy, like Jeudy was mentioning. It'd be really nice if we could just have the ability to get in and out easily. Also, Jeudy mentioned Toronto, and I guess I can mention that now, is that like that was one that I was like really unsure if I was going to go or not. Thankfully, it didn't fill for any reason, and so I actually did decide I will be at that one. So if you're going to Toronto, you'll see me there.
Nice.
Another justification that I have for waves is we actually saw sign up waves happen this year unintentionally with LAIC. I wasn't planning on going to Brazil when the initial signups went out, but after I won the first global challenge, I decided, you know what, actually I can chase for a stipend this period. I'm kind of feeling this format. I'd like to go. And so it was nice to be able to have like a different point in time to be able to make the decision instead of just being for like all of the slots being dropped at once. It just felt really, I don't know, player friendly, consumer friendly, I guess, to have multiple points in time where you're allowed to make that decision. I ended up missing the signups on the second wave, but it is what it is.
All that to be like, yeah,
I was excited to go to Brazil for a minute there.
Oh man. You've been how many times before, Nick? Have you ever been?
I've been to 4 Brazil internationals.
Yeah, you've been. That's what I thought.
Yeah, so like it's fine to give other people the chance. It's I mean, yeah.
That's not what I was
Brazil's
trying to
not one
say,
of my
but like,
yeah. No, I get you. Just like it's fine. Like I've been to some before. I'll go to more. Would have been fun though. Reg G is a cool format.
Reg G?
Or sorry, Reg H.
Right.
We were talking about Reg G.
You gotta get history straightened out.
There's a lot of formats.
A lot of letters. So next up here though, before we talk too much about signups and stuff again, is the Premier Ball League held in the Philippines. And so this one took place over the past weekend. I think the previous Premier Ball League that we talked about, oh man, I can't remember where it was. It might have been Malaysia, but I'm not positive. The previous one only had 29 entrants. I remember that part. This one had 144. So a much more sizable tournament here. Awesome to see so many people coming out to play. And they ended up playing a structure of 6 best-of-1 Swiss rounds into a single elim best-of-3 cut with it's like a top 16. And the results are still not out for this one yet. I actually asked one of the players who attended this tournament, their Twitter here is RapVGC, Rap Perez, for a bit of information, and they might actually be putting together the results for us right now. We'll see if that comes to us in time. If not, we can always talk about it on the next week's episode of Tub Ticks. So regardless, though, they put out this tweet that Adi shared with me, kind of talking about it seems like a standard issue kind of error that could have happened at any tournament. Just a mistakenly filled out match slip is what happened here, where it's best of 1 in the Swiss rounds, and so somebody who lost the game ended up filling it out as a win for themselves, and then the opponent signed that, basically kind of agreeing to it, like, yeah, that's the result. They turned it in, and somebody who technically finished 3-3 made it into cut at 4-2, and then some of the 4-2s bubbled cut as well, just because it was a top 16 cut with only a certain number, only 6 rounds, I guess, and so some 4-2s were not able to make it in based on their resistance, probably. But yeah, they tried to like get this clarified with the match slip and stuff, and it seems like they kind of just said like, oh, there's nothing we can do, and unfortunately the person with the 3-3 record made it into cut. I think they won their top 16 before eventually getting knocked out in top 8. So they didn't end up like winning the whole thing, just like despite this or anything. But it's definitely unfortunate to see somebody lose their spot in cut.
Yeah, what's their circuit like again? Like, what makes their? I know premier events feed into another event, right?
Yeah, let me see if it's linked on here, the on this page, because it kind of talks about how the Premier Ball leagues work. But basically, the Premier Ball leagues are like a man, Jeudy, what year did you start playing VGC? You had like you had to like qualify for Nats back then, right? Or something like that?
Yes, you had to qualify for Worlds. I played at Twin Nats for
Worlds.
2010 and 2011. Yeah, Nats.
Okay.
2010 and 2011 was the years I played that you had to get top 16 at a regional, and then you get a nationals invite.
It's kind of something like that, but it's not like a non-specific regional. Like it's the Premier Ball tournament. You have to do well enough to get invited to that one, and then if you I don't know if I'm finding the what is this, the previous season? It's the previous season, I think. And yeah, anyways, you do well enough at one of these Premier Ball tournaments and you can get invited to Nats. But if you don't, you can also still make it into, I got another throwback for you. You can make it into the Master Ball tournament through lottery. So that's another throwback to an old system that everyone's been trying to throwback. Everyone's calling for that one to return. Back in the old days, you lost one at a regional and you were done. Yeah, I mean that's true. The thing is like those regionals weren't lying to you. If you lost one game, like just go home. Like, come on, well, don't kid yourself. You're not going to win the tournament. You already lost one. The winner's not going to lose. That just makes more sense to me. So I feel like if you lose it all, like you should just go home. And I like that system a lot better. No mistakes. Jokes aside, though, yeah, I couldn't find the image that specifies how it works. Actually, they talk about it a bit here in the prizing section. And maybe this link will tell me it. But yeah, if you make it to semifinals, it looks like that gets you. Oh, you get a spot in the Master Ball League with a certain number of buys. If you win the whole thing, you get 3 buys at the Master. Yeah.
Oh man.
Did we have those at a certain point as well in history? I'm pretty sure we did.
I think we did have buys at one point.
At Nats? Maybe a round 1 buy or something.
We had it at Worlds this past year.
Yes, and that one's gone, right? That one, or no, wait, is that still in play?
No, it's gone.
No, they tried it one year and decided that it was canceled because it was really bad.
Right, we got rid of this. We had buy at Nats in 2012. Thank you, Jimmy, for. I'm asking a lot of history questions, and Jimmy is coming through.
Yeah.
Nice.
Still, 3 buys is like insane.
We've
never had 3
It's
buys.
like half the tournament.
I was a proponent of saying, like, I think the buys are not like massive. I don't want them to be hugely impactful. The ones that we had at Worlds this past year, whether whatever your take is on it after seeing it in action, I'll let everybody else form their own opinions. But that was just with 1 buy. 3 buys is there's no like dismissing that. Winning the first 3 rounds guaranteed is quite an impact, and that is going to help your run without a doubt. Yeah. At least we're never going back to the day 1, day 2 buy system. That, at least, hopefully we aren't. That one I'm happy to see gone. Yeah. So, this is talking about TPCI region structures. All right. Yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to find it right now, but anyways, yeah, we might come back to this one if I'm gonna keep an eye on my DMs to see if Rap hooks me up with the results of the tournament. But otherwise, let's go ahead and talk about the Grand Challenge, the Grand Challenge 2 that just took place over the past weekend. And that was won by Suika, which I thought the Japanese players weren't allowed to play in this one. What the heck? I thought this was one of the But yes, Suika has been. Actually, I'm going to ask you this question, Nick, because you talked to Suika more than me. But Suika is aiming for an invite through TPCI this year, or no?
Yeah, I'm reasonably sure that Suika is currently studying in Australia.
Yes. Okay.
And has residency there and is a TPCI region player.
Cool. I mean, so the thing is like coming from the system, like I wonder if this was just a cakewalk. I would love to ask Suika at some point if it was just like, yeah, actually, like this is like what we've been training for years in the Japan circuit. Like this was no, I mean, like the record kind of shows like 26-2, like that is pretty insane, pretty crazy consistency, and yeah, a lot of CP granted there. I don't know if anybody in the call could relate to earning 170 championship points from an online tournament. But that's going to be a pretty great benefit to earning a Worlds invite through the Oceania region. But otherwise, we could talk a little bit about the team here. It's actually like something I think we saw a bit more in the early meta, and it is kind of like Fire, Water, Grass, but they forgot the water. They've got, Talonflame, Rillaboom. They've got Mouse Ape and stuff. They've just got Tailwind, Gholdengo. It's pretty basic, like, offense stuff. I don't know. I don't actually have, like, a ton of takeaways from this besides, like...
It doesn't, like...
Go ahead, Jeudy.
There's gotta be a water around there somewhere. Is all.
And I think we've talked about this in the past with the first GC. We talked about how like players like Iru in the past have like used like kind of standardish teams, and like while it doesn't look like anything like stands out, it looks like it's a pretty standard fare like tailwind offense. Like there is still a lot of like CTS elements this team has. Like what is the Mossel doing? What is the Ape doing? Is the Rillaboom a little bit freaky? Speed tiers, etc. There's so many items that you can play on the Dragonite. But I do think that, like, in general, like, strong Pokemon still make for strong teams, and you can just give, like, you still have a lot of room for, like, surprises, and I think that this team kind of shows that.
Something that I'm always advising people when it comes to the GC and team building for it is to not avoid strong Pokemon for the sake of it. Like, you think that you want to, like, pull off all these tricks with Pokemon your opponent have never seen, but I feel like the better way to lull your opponent into a false sense of security is to use something they've seen before with a set they've never heard of or thought to respect, or on a team that they didn't think it would be running that, you know, like, we're seeing the loaded dice scale shot D-Knight getting very popular, but, like, what if this one was just choice banded and you're just, like, back to dealing with that, you know? There's, like, a lot of strength in running Pokemon that, you know, people, again, can feel cozy playing against until the set is not at all what they expected.
That's generally my take for GCs is running standard mons with tweaked sets that just like, ideally they just beat their counters, but even just tweaking how their counters are supposed to play against them can often be enough if you find the right context for them.
This actually kind of goes back to what I made the meme. You know, like, this team unfortunately doesn't feature Ursaluna, but Doug, they're, like, kind of like becoming the kings of best of one, and honestly just solid in VGC in general. Like, I think we're seeing a decent amount of these guys represented in TPCI, not just TPCI I meant, but in, like, best of 3 is what I mean. In best of 3 tournaments, these guys are also doing pretty excellently. But yeah, Dragonite, Ursaluna, Gholdengo, doing really, really well here. And Marco, your team did in fact feature that, right? You had Dragonite, Ursaluna, Gholdengo here with, again, some more Pokemon that do really well when you don't know exactly what they're doing. Annihilape, Sneasler, Ninetales. Some of the sets are more or less predictable, but go ahead and talk us a bit about it. You ended up finishing exactly 16th, right?
Yeah. Top 16. Yeah, when I was gonna play in this GC, what I really wanted to use was, like, for sure Sneasler and Dragonite. Sneasler because I mean, with Dire Claw, like, being able to, like, take a game away with, like, sleep or paralysis, and it's, like, insanely good. And with, like, Dragonite, with, like, Haze, like, it's so good because I actually did, like, play against, like, a couple of Dozos, weak armor, like, teams as well. So, like, being able to, like, get rid of that cheese was, like, awesome. Especially, like, if you can kind of, like, read it in the, like, team preview. But, like, the first version of the team, though, I didn't have I didn't have Annihilape, and I didn't have Ninetales. I had Mimikyu and Archaludon, which the Mimikyu, I think it had, like, Curse for, like, another Dozo option. I think I had Low Kick on the Dragonite also instead of Haze. But then I ended up dropping it. I realized that I kind of wanted Ninetales and Annihilape. I kind of helped a little bit, like, against, like, the Nils Sand team because I kept on playing it during practice, and it was pretty hard to kind of beat it, especially like the extra gel. Really, so being able to, like, turn off the speed control on that was nice. So then when I saw, like, the 6, I like noticed it kind of looked like the European team. I think the Francesco Bardini was running at Lily, but I think they had a Magmar over the Sneasler. So I was, like, kind of thinking, like, oh, how can I make this a little bit more of a best of one? And the first thing was, I guess, like, mainly dropping the Icicle Spear, because I feel like that would have been, like, too easy to, like, read. Which it did happen a couple of times. Every time I led Annihilape and Alolan Ninetales, they kept on clicking follow me. So I was just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna click. Yeah. So I would just click Blizzard or Aurora maybe, depending on, like, you know, what's the field looking like. And then the Gholdengo, I think I always decided Gholdengo to be Scarfed because I realized I noticed a lot of Japanese players when I was playing on the ladder online, like, they were running Scarf Gholdengo like crazy, and I was like, man, this thing it's like I kept on losing to it. So I was like, oh man, I think I need to bring this. Like, I don't think I wouldn't get like an opportunity to like set up like nasty plot and go off. So I was just like, I think I gotta run Scarf and catch some people off guard. And I was running Modest until I think what was it? I think I ran like I forgot what game I was playing. I think my Gholdengo in-game Gholdengo was timid, and I played against the Electrode Annihilape like stuff on the ladder. So I was like, oh my god! I was like, so it was already like, so yeah, it was a bit of cheese, but then for some reason, but their Annihilate was actually adamant, and mine was timid, so I was able to outspeed it and KO it. I was like, oh nice. So I was just like, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna keep timid because it's gonna come in handy.
Yeah, no, I think you might need timid for Pult as well.
Yeah, that too. I actually did face like a Jolly, or did not? No, not Jolly. But yeah, I did face like a couple of pretty fast Dragapult. I think it was Jolly, like during practice. Yeah, like at least a lot of them started to switch to Jolly because I guess they realized that they don't, all of them were adamant. They rather just win the speed tie or potential.
Right.
Good for them. Let them do less damage. I beg.
Yeah.
True. So yeah, I think the rest of this is more or less Pokemon that we've kind of grown used to seeing, but I think I mean with Doug, I think Goggles and Annihilape also a really excellent balance breaker. That isn't. You can't rely on it being Goggles every time. You attack it with a 2 attacks that you think are going to 2-hit KO it, and then it eats a Citrus Berry, or you try to slowly whittle away at it, and then they protect to heal with leftovers, and you're like, this is tough. That's why a lot of these Pokemon just really do shine. And like, I'll be honest, looking at your team, like if I was playing against it in closed team sheet, I probably would have guessed Sneasler had coaching instead of protect. It looks like a team that could use coaching. And so, I might have made an assumption like, all right, the Sneasler's not going to be able to protect, and sure enough, you can. So there's a lot of stuff like that that I think could be really good in CTS.
Yeah. I got enough like a good like turns in games where I would just protect the Sneasler and they would like double up, and I'm like, oh nice, like, let's go. I was considering coaching though, just for like the bulk up coaching play, but I never really saw it when I was like using the team. So I was just like, oh, I'll just keep with Fake Out. Like it's kind of nice to stall out a turn or something for like Tailwind.
Protect goes a long way on Sneasler because it's a Pokemon that forces a lot of defensive Terras as well, and that's kind of just like the hold up for a moment, they're gonna freak out type of option. Like they're gonna freak, they're gonna do something, they're gonna make a switch. Sneasler can hit both of these Pokemon super effectively for big damage, but one of them is gonna react this turn. I'm gonna protect and just watch. Jeudy had that one meme. It was like, well, let me sit back and see. What was that? What was that one? Do you remember?
Yeah. Like the let me sit back and observe. It was like Chopper posted it about being able to finally protect in front of a Fake Out.
Yeah. I'm gonna sit back and observe that one. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah. That's the CTS pressure too. It's so stressful. Like you're just like this has to click close combat or dire claw, and like you have to play the 50-50, but protect is like actually I don't have to play the 50-50.
I'll play the 50-50 next turn unless they let me opt out.
Rock, paper, scissors, and it's like, I'm doing rock, and you're like, I'm actually gonna wait if that's all right.
Yeah.
You said
Give me a sec.
I'll tell you if I'm doing rock, paper, or scissors next turn, and you're like, I just did rock, man. What the hell? That's what it is. All right. So yeah. Obviously, congrats on the finish. That's a really nice amount of points. You crossed the main threshold of top 32. So on top of that, you get an extra 10, right? So I think 130 total. That's a pretty nice amount of points to get from the comfort of your own home, I assume.
Yeah. And honestly, I mean, I didn't really play that many games. I only played 23. And
oh, right. I forgot you also had 2 losses as well.
One of the losses was to like another weak armor. Which I mean, I couldn't really see it like in the team preview. It was like Indeedee. It was like just standard. like hard trick room stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, this is just standard stuff. But no, it was like weak armor.
I guess one quick question
And
is, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that my other loss was to Gio Acosta.
Oh, okay.
Is that a last name? Yeah. Those are my only like 2 losses.
Got it.
Well
I
played.
mean, yeah, crazy that you can just count them on 2 fingers.
Yeah.
But I guess, yeah, whether the answer is one of the boring options or one of the cool ones, I just want to know, like, what would you say was the like GOAT of your run? Which Pokemon?
Oh man, it was definitely Gholdengo and Dragonite. Like the Dragonite made I played 3 Dozos. One of them was actually Eric Rios, and it just made the Dozo matchup like so much easier because I was just able to in all of those 3 Dozo games, I was just able to position Ninetales with Dragonite, like with multi-skill intact, and just able to protect Haze, and then freeze try to get the KO on the Dondozo, and then scale shot the Tatsugiri, and then deal with the 2 Mons or the 1 Mon in the back. It was pretty sick.
I think
And
this
then
is
the
probably
gold,
probably a good moment to talk about this D-Knight in particular. And I want to talk about it a bit in comparison to Dragonites that don't run Haze on the set, and then also comparing it a bit to Primarina as well, because Primarina was the premier Haze Pokemon that people were using to compare to to beat Dondozo. And I don't know, everyone says that Prim is like a fraud now. People like hate Prim. They say this mon is like terrible, the worst mon to ever do it. And Dragonite is kind of now filling the role on a different set. I don't know. Dragonite feels like it takes a much harsher penalty by dropping the moveset. Primarina with Water and Fairy, it's pretty good coverage. It hits most of the things that you want to do. Whereas Dragonite, it feels like it's a bit more lacking. It gives up a bit more by running that Haze set. But also, even still, Scale Shot and Extreme Speed are really strong to have in a number of games. So, yeah, I guess I don't know where exactly I'm going with this, but it's just kind of interesting to see this being the more relied upon Dozo answer than Primarina now.
Yeah, I think it's maybe because of multi-skill, just because like a +2 order up. I think even if you get a crit, it doesn't KO D-Knight through multi-skill. So I think just being able to like live like a move like that, unless they're running like Avalanche or Ice Fang or something.
Wait, no, Avalanche is it's negative priority though, right?
Wait, is it? Oh, okay, awesome. Then yeah, I hope they click that move then.
I feel like if it was not negative priority, they might run that one, and I don't think it gets Ice Fang. I feel because we also probably would have seen that at some point.
No, I think it does get Ice Fang.
It gets Ice Fang?
Yeah, because I was checking it like when I was playing. I was like the GC because honestly you just really never know with Dozo sometimes on the GCs. They'll run some wacky like move sets.
So funny. It does get Ice Fang. I've been trying to put Avalanche on the like Dozos that are like solo Dozo. I feel like Avalanche seems really cool on it. Like you're so often gonna get the double base power from it.
Yeah.
But it's also just hard to figure out what move to drop sometimes, and like obviously sometimes you also just have ice coverage on the team elsewhere if you have like a Ninetales, so like not really necessary.
Yeah, that's true.
So we're gonna keep moving here and move on to the next one here. So Nick, you ended up finishing 7th overall, right? I think that's like the actual final here. And I do have the team as well here. I know who made it, at least helped out. Go ahead, Nick,
tell me all about the building process.
Right?
So the team was made by Alex and Mont. Alex messaged me on Thursday before the GC and said, "Yo, I've got 2 versions of the team. What do you think? Which one do you think is better?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know what I'm playing yet. Mind if I take him for a spin on the ladder?" And I tried him out, and the one that I ended up locking spoke to me a bit more than Alex's. And then I tried making some changes to it, and my changes sucked. So I loaded up Montspin verbatim. and the GC went really well.
Yeah, so I guess I'll go ahead and jump in here. And also, I just want to mention right now, in case I forget later, guys, but Rap did come through with the teams from Philippines, so we'll bounce back to that one after talking about the GC.
Nice.
We do have
Sounds
the results
good.
of that one. So, anyways,
Awesome.
yeah. So for this team, they only have 3 Pokemon exactly in common, which is the Incineroar, Annihilape, and Dragonite. They're basically exactly the same. Both teams feature Gholdengo with different sets. I also ended up running that Choice Scarf Gholdengo, but this one was the Life Orb one. And then they both also have Ursalunas, but different forms. And lastly, we've got Whimsicott versus Vivillon, both setting Tailwind, both carrying the Focus Sash. I don't know. They have a lot of things that are comparable between the two Pokemon, or the like, directly comparing the Pokemon versus Pokemon between the two teams, but they do play decently differently because of these changes. And the team, the core started by being built around Annihilate D-Knight. This combo with coaching was the really fun thing. I ran Annihilate D-Knight with coaching in the first GC, but it was Assault Vest D-Knight and it was Scarf Annihilate. And I was hoping to, catch people thinking that, I mean, even if it wasn't, they weren't falling for the D-Knight not being Assault Vested anymore, the number of times that I went for coaching with the Annihilate, and Nick, I imagine you saw this as well in your run, they would just think you're Scarf, they would think you're Scarf immediately upon clicking coaching. And then turn 2, you click, Close Combat, Rage Fist, or Final Gambit, and I mean, I didn't see it, my opponents, but I imagine that their jaw dropped because, like, the number of people who fell for it, like, really hard was awesome. Like, it was just so great.
Yeah, no, I really loved the Annihilape's flexibility. Like, you could do so many funny things with it and do them all at the same time. It just was really adaptable to any situation. I led Whimsicott, Annihilape a decent amount of the time, and just like I wanted to beat up Rage Fest into a lot of their team, but if they led something that it was bad into, it's just like, oops, I guess it's a Final Gambit Tailwind, and go to Gholdengo game,
Yep.
and start nasty plotting, and yeah, no, just the flexibility was phenomenal. It made Ape like it was just consistently really okay in a lot of positions. Like, there was almost no spot where Ape was bad. It was just consistently able to contribute to a win, no matter what the opponent threw at it. And that's just very, very powerful, that it's never caught out in a bad spot.
I think another situation that came up a lot was against Sneasler plus King Gambits. The number of times I saw, like, protect turn 1, coaching, let's buff up my defenses, I'm gonna coach it, and then I click Close Combat on that first turn. And then they're like, I'm gonna Terra Dark now, I'm gonna have my coaching defense drops, or my defense boosts. And I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go for Final Gambit now. And, like, then they just took 100%, and I was like, why did you Terra? What, you thought you would live? Like, this is, I don't know. It was hilarious that you could pull off so many pranks with this ape. Yeah, the team has a bunch of other tricks that you can do besides that. Like Mick mentioned, it also, you can beat up and Rage Fist with this ape. You can get D-Knight with a Scale Shot speed boost to then side Scale Shot into your own Annihilape with Terra Steel to give it the Rage Fist stacks. I didn't get to pull that one off in the GC, but I did a couple times
I
in
also
practice.
did not pull it off. Hitting your own, it's just really committal to go for the Terra Steel and, like, hit your own guy instead of hit their guy, like, and also not have coach turn 1, because you don't really want a +1 scale shot your ape, you want a +0 scale shot it. So there's a lot of pieces to go together in order to pull that one off, but
I did have it
yeah,
happen in practice, and it was what inspired me to, like, actually stick with it. It was almost like, this is just fun. This is just a lot of fun. Coaching also does offset the drawback of Scale Shot in a way. You're not actually dropping your defenses. And yeah, you can also coach Incineroar, which was another cool thing that came up occasionally in practice, not actually in the run.
I didn't ever do that actually either.
Yeah, that one is also pretty cool against certain teams. It's mostly good against the P2 Bear Amoonguss teams, but those ones have fallen off pretty significantly.
They were not very common. I don't think I played against any of them, actually.
Yeah. So, like, it's not something that's, like, very important to the team, but it was just an option. And so, yeah, then on the other version, this version, the two of the Pokemon that, like, are different actually ended up kind of taking over in a way for me, for better or for worse. I had a lot of fun with them, with Ursaluna and the Vivillon, just kind of like tailwinding when people expected a very different Vivillon. The number of times I saw, like, people switch to their goggles to deal with the incoming sleep powder, and I'm like, I literally don't have it. I don't. I've tried testing out the compoundized Vivillon on a different team for the GC, and the number of, like, unexpected goggles can just be such a day ruiner, or like a Terra Grass when you don't expect it. And so this one was just like never gonna get pranked. You were just going to Tailwind, Friend Guard, Pollen Puff, heal your guys, keep them alive, and your opponent was gonna, like, misplay around it a lot. I saw, like, an Annihilape went for Terra in front of my Vivillon at one point, and I was just like, wait, why did you even do that? I don't even remember. What am I? And I was like, oh yeah, they were scared of Hurricane. Like, Hurricane would really hurt you. I don't even have that. Like, you know, it's just, it really forces my opponents to prepare for something that's not even there. And so that was a lot of fun. And the bear ate up hits with the Friend Guard, because again, they might not even think I'm Friend Guard, and suddenly the bear is just tanking hits. And then other than that, the rest of the team had a lot of overlap. The Gholdengo was the scarf set that we already talked about on Mars's team. That I think it was also pretty strong in my run too. I saw it as well, just on the ladder getting really popular, and I was like, yeah, I need to steal that and run it too. Like, that's just good.
Yeah, it's definitely really unexpected.
Maybe not anymore. You know, now the word's out on that one.
So this is similar to the Flutter fourth move discussion that we had before. Did Alex, did you click Steel Beam? And Mars, did you click Power Gem?
I clicked it once against Torviv because he terrored fire his Rillaboom. So I was like, oh my god, thank god. It was the only time I clicked it.
Okay.
I was thinking about switching to Protect, so I can, I can trick and then protect on certain turns and stuff. But I was just like, I'll just keep Power Gem. But
I never found a situation that I wanted a different move. I probably would have wanted Power Gem or Thunderbolt. Jeudy actually recommended me Steel Beam. I had Nasty Plot originally, though, so I think Steel Beam was still a step up from Nasty Plot. But I didn't get use out of Steel Beam at all.
Yeah.
So 100% Jody's fault, not my own for not making a better decision myself.
I do think that coverage moves tend to be better, at least in like OTS best of ones. But I still am. I just like clicking. I like clicking Steel Beam. It's so funny. I mean, you never click Steel Beam, but when you can click Steel Beam. But yeah. It's kind of cool though. Like, you guys obviously do not build together, but came to like pretty like similar strong stuff. At least when it comes to like the Gholdengo. And obviously you guys like performed really well. I took a vacation for this one.
Also, I wouldn't say I did really well. I ended up just barely finishing outside of top 256, but or outside of top 128 in top 256. Timid is to outspeed Dragon Pulse Blast. Yeah, Focus Blast. Yeah, I mean, just take out those King Gambits, bro.
I mean, you run into a Tailwind Ursa team and you just Focus Blast it while they have Tailwind up.
Yeah, that would still outrun, I think, some of them, right?
Yeah, it would.
Yeah,
213. So yeah, 149 does.
Do we expect?
No, I'm just joking.
Into accounts. So Snoopy, I don't remember actually where I finished, and the answer is probably not. There's probably like single digit though. Like, it's probably a pretty small number. The thing is like, this is not like the global challenges we saw in years past where we had to factor in Japanese players or players in non-TPCI regions and players that might have not linked their carts, or double carts, which double carts are also gone now. So more or less like you can take your number at face value. The higher you go, especially, but yeah.
I think it's gonna get pretty chaotic, right? Because these grand challenges are going to end, and they're gonna go back to being global challenges. And I think if anything, like Jeudy winning, kind of like is like, yeah, we're gonna get like more Japanese and Asian players as soon as we get those global challenges. And what do you expect? I guess the trajectory of points. Did the points go up or down? Do we know? Like
That was super
1830.
weird. We haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah.
Because hold on. Let me go find. I saw a tweet from Sableye, who outlined the thresholds for the first one here. And Nick, what was your final points again?
This time, 1779.
Yeah, 1779, which got you 7th. Top 8 was 1810 last time. That's a difference of like 30. 30 points for a top 8 finish. That's pretty drastic, honestly. I think so.
Yeah, so I don't think that the ratings are out on Pokemon.com, but once they are, we'll be able to see the number of participants. And my guess is there just were a decent amount fewer participants. Like the last one had 5,600. I'm expecting this one to probably come in around like 3.5 or 4K. Usually, just having more participants inflates the rankings a bit, and like there's also just a little bit less interest for the second one than the first one, probably. And that's just going to be the main factor, like pushing ratings up or down.
Yeah, but nobody's actually going to think about that, Nick, and you're just going to be like, yeah, Suika, you won this one, but not as high a score. Sorry. You know?
I mean, that's just objectively true.
I think this is actually good. Nails, if you get another really strong performance at the next Grand Challenge, do you see yourself playing in any of the rest?
It's going to be just whether or not I feel like it. If so, I had said to myself, if I win the first 3, I'm absolutely trying to play in the 4th and just keep the streak going. But like, yeah, no, I mean, I do enjoy playing the closed sheet Pokemon. Just it is a lot. Like you do have to put in a pretty good amount of prep time if you want to spike it. Alex put in the prep time this time, and I just stole his homework. But yeah, it's a reasonable amount of commitment, and so.
So yeah, I think Nick had DM'd me last. I guess it was yesterday. He had DM'd me at some point and was like, I'm at 40 games, number 28, and I was thinking like, because he was like, okay, we got it, and I was like, oh, does that mean that he's just gonna settle for, top 32 because that's the big spike point, a lot of point jump there, and then he was immediately like, nah, like I'm still playing, and then like I think even with you ended up hitting your not your peak, I guess, but like you played 2 more and won them. You were at number 7, and you were just still like, I'm just gonna keep going. Like I'm playing to win.
Yeah, no. There's a lot of these tournaments, and so the decision point, like when I was 5 games left with like barely inside the top 32, it probably like at 27th, it probably would have stuck, but I also was playing well enough, like I was on a winning streak, and so I think that like just the average result is if I play, I'm probably going to win, and I'm probably not going to lose the next one, and if I lose the first one, so it's fine to ship it at that point, and just let it ride.
It didn't stick, by the way, Nick. It wouldn't have.
Oh, awesome.
I just went and checked. You were 1755 at 28 or whatever. Scott posted exact 32. He didn't say who it was. He anonymized it, but exact 32nd was 1758. So you would have been 3 points short. Interesting.
Good to know. But yeah, just there's a lot of these tournaments, and the BFL is pretty low, and so like yeah, if you think that you have outplaced your like how good you think you are, and if you think that you're or like yeah, if you think that you're above where maybe you should be based on skill, then yeah, no, playing like everyone has to make that evaluation and like should have different evaluations. So I'm not like trying to uh like say oh if you suck or anything, but like just like an honest evaluation of your skill. If you think that you're above where you um like might expect to finish, then parking is fine. I have a pretty high evaluation of my own skill, and I think that I just have a good chance of winning any ladder game that I queue up for, at least when I have a good team and I'm feeling myself on that day. And I was. So yeah, just keep shipping more games. Because the like expected value is that my score is gonna go up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I mean, I like it. I think that I don't know. I guess like one last thing that I want to talk about with the GC, because I think it was an interesting proposition that I have seen before, but Rafa was talking about how he wishes the GC was just took your peak rating and just took your peak
No,
and
no, no, no,
then
no, 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 no,
no, I know. He's so I think there are decent arguments on both sides, and let's talk about this really quick before we wrap up talking about the GC. But basically, the argument is that if you take your peak rating, it removes the like risk assessment part of the GC. Deciding like Mars, you had a lot of games left, and you were like, this is good enough though. I don't need to play anymore. It's just kind of a gamble at this point. Not that much reward, but a decent amount of risk. And it depends on the person. Somebody like me in that spot, I might do the same. Somebody like Nails in that spot, he might say, I'm going to keep going. And there are some people that so Rafa's argument is that he wants that to not be an element of it and to just like let you play all 45 games, so that it's more about just playing as like playing all the Pokemon and just like basically he just wants to encourage you to play all your games, I guess. Let me go read and see what his other arguments were. I'll be honest, I also don't agree with Rafa. I like how it is, but let me go see.
I think like my immediate thought is like Marco had like 20 more games, but do you want to force people to play like 45 games to get their like peak rating up? Like that's like ultimate grass touch status, like not touched. It's
True.
just like it's just kind of lame. There's like no, I guess like the risk part is like but like I don't think the risk part matters as much as just like there's also the matchup part. Like what if you if you play a bunch of people who are like slightly less rating than you and your point gain is not as high as someone who happens to pull like good matchups, right? And like if it's only a peak thing, right? It's just like, oh, this guy got to the same record as me with less games, and it's like,
ooh, that would feel bad. Yeah, that would
should
feel
remove
bad.
the game.
I mean, that already still does happen technically. It's like same record can get you different amounts of points. I think. But yeah, I think that's basically what Rafa said. He just says encouraging people to play is good, and it's a better representation of your performance. Basically, just like not about hitting a good streak, but about being consistent, about having like a very high win rate across 45 games. Because I mean, like if you talk about it like to the extremes, like I'm gonna be better able to assess somebody's skill if they play 100 games than if they play 10. So I guess I get that side of it, but I don't know. I like what he and then he says like the risk assessment part isn't really like Pokemon. Like that's not really what Pokemon is. It's like not it doesn't
My
actually
counter is that
skill
risk,
that's worth
risk management is absolutely a Pokemon skill.
It is, right? It is.
Also like games are a resource, and like if you're playing to get a high score in the tournament, um, I think that you should have like, um, I mean, you don't have to have the confidence in your skill because, like I was talking about earlier, like if you just know that you're outplacing your expected performance, then you're supposed to stop playing. But like, generally, I am a big proponent of setting all your games on fire, just playing them, and letting the chips fall where they may. Except for if you're already locked in first, like I was in the last GC. Like that's one of the first GCs ever where I just didn't finish all my games. And
what was your
generally
game count in that one again?
33.
33 total. Got it.
Yeah. No, I had a really good run. And
Did you?
just yes.
Arguable. All right.
No, like I mean the key to winning or performing well on a global challenge or grand challenge or whatever is just a win streak on Sunday. Like your Friday and Thursday, Friday, Saturday don't really matter. All that matters is doing well on day 4.
Yeah, which honestly, I don't think that is too hard of a pill to swallow for anybody. I thought I saw a good take from Chuppa when talking about it. It's just like, you have to do well on Sunday in the regional anyways, and so like, the final day of competition when the games are the hardest is when you need to clutch up and do well. And so like that shouldn't be a foreign concept to anybody who's trying to succeed in VGC. But yeah, no, I do think that Jimmy's got a good point as well, that we probably, if talking about when I said like 100 games would be a better test of skill, he's saying we should just remove the cap on the games, just let you play as many games as possible, and also make it so that DCs don't count, so that way, you can just play infinite games, and I don't know, and we're not going back to that, Jimmy. We're not
count the losses.
We're not going back to that, Jimmy. Those I don't want to know what those GCs were like. Actually, Jeudy, did you ever play in one of those?
I did. And that's where that's where the lying came. Like that's why like Angel used to lie about Derek's record all the time, because you don't even get to see what place you are. So people would just like, so you were like, yeah, I played like 100 games, hit 1900 GGs, but like also people were hitting 1900 to get first in those GCs. So like,
yeah,
maybe it's better now.
Actually, no. Even in the 45 game era, Nick, the one that you got first or second at was like a 1900 score, right?
Yeah, no, Rajan got first in it with a 1902, and I got second with a 1901.
At least you got 1900. Could you imagine how bad it would have felt?
I think we were close to 2000s.
Oh yeah, no, I would believe it, Jeudy. Because I was like 1900. Yeah. I was like, that sounds like mildly achievable in the 45 game. 2000 sounds right.
Yeah, no, I've definitely hit 1900 once before in a 45 game DC, and I'm very proud. But yeah,
goated. All right. I'm going to go ahead and move us on, though, to talking about the results of this tournament here. I guess I just have my DMs showing. Is there any way to, like, do that a different way? Let me look at a different way on screen. But
probably like pop it out and then like grab them from your DMs as you go.
Yeah,
like pop out your Twitter DMs and then do that.
Got it.
People don't want to know about your gamer subs ads that you're getting for Tub Nation.
Yeah, I get a lot of like sponsor requests, and I have to turn them all down. Like it's just so sad, I'm just like, I don't want money. Like I don't want any recognition or anything. I just do it for the love of the game. So yeah.
No Twitter blue all love.
But I'm just.
Is this the team that won?
No. Well, depending which one you're looking at, I don't know. Maybe it might be. I'll just grab a couple here. I grabbed the same one twice. All right. We have the first couple here. Let's get rid of that one and that one. Okay. The team from Rick is the one that won here. So it was won by like honestly, it's not Reg A, but it does look like a Reg A team. Like this is like just Meowscarada plus Dragonite. I don't know. Like what would you say the Pult comparison is from back then?
Oh,
Like, it's got to be just
Was Pulp not available?
Oh wait, was Pulp
Back-
available? Am I silly in truth? I guess we weren't using it though in reggae, but
No,
wait, no,
yeah,
it was not in reggae.
No, it was.
It was.
Was it not reggae? Yeah, no, it definitely was. We talked about this Pokemon. I
Because
remember.
Justin
People
used
were
it
using
in Reg B,
Trispan,
right?
Yeah,
Why was it not used that much in reggae? Or was it?
because there was not a Sneasler next to it.
I guess so. Because it was completely countered by Sylveon. I don't know, man. What do I guess? Anyways.
No, I do remember that Pult was pretty mid in reggae.
Isn't that weird?
I cannot tell you why. Probably just King Gambit was bigger and we didn't have as good of fighting types to contest it.
Yeah, King Gambit was
That's true.
a big factor that I wasn't remembering.
Mimikyu was a Pokemon too. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Psychic Terrain. No, we had Psychic Terrain. It was less common, I guess. The expanding force was
No, it was pretty common. Yeah, like Alex Soto got second, right? Well, yeah, but anyway, I think was this okay? Important question before I judge. Did they play best of one Swiss or did they play best of three?
Best of one Swiss, best of three cut. I think it was open team sheet the whole way.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. I can go back to the page. I had it on the Victory Road page.
Damn, best of one is kind of brutal though. Even with open team sheet, I think it's still like, damn, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was open team sheet the whole time. They had their own unique open team sheets, by the way.
Did they see Open Tara as well?
Let's see if it was actually, maybe it included something extra. It seems like it was open nature. I think because I'm seeing these like papers printed, and so it's open. It was OTS plus, where you get to know the natures too.
That's like
best of nature included in the OTS. It was best of one Swiss, but yeah. So was it the team sheets were also in best of one, right? Like you had the team sheets the whole time, the whole way through, not just in cut. Yeah, including the natures is pretty.
That's the Asian open team sheet special right there. But okay.
Yeah, so yeah, like honestly, like that, it just reveals so much when you see that the ape is Jolly. It's just like, okay, yeah, you're probably max speed. You wouldn't run Jolly and not be max speed, you know, just to settle somewhere like lower. But yeah, so yeah, looking at the team though, Rick was the one that ended up winning it all with Dozo still on Terra Grass and the Choice Scarf Tots kind of as we know it. This is just like, you know, Tailwind offense. Yeah, Tailwind Dozo offense. We've seen this one before. Let's go ahead and move on to the second one here. And we've seen stuff like this a little bit too. This one is the Delphox type of Tailwind offense stuff. You know, there's no fish here.
Bro, they're Murkrow addicts.
It's actually just 4 of the same Pokemon. Like, I guess we have to just call these 2/2/2s because, like, the Dozo's out, the Psy Spam is in with Indeedee and Delphox. Of course, Rick's team doesn't run Psychic Seed on the Sneasler, so there are more differences than just that. But dang, this is pretty funny. Knowing the Gholdengo nature is critical, that is actually pretty big. You get to know if they're like speed tying you if you're timid, or if you're modest, you have to like worry about them being faster or not. It's a bit of a mystery. So yeah. Next up we have it looks like just
Murkrow Mirror in finals is kind of crazy.
That is kind of crazy.
That guy does not really exist much in the Western meta. In the best 3 OTS meta. So
yeah, it was like a 144 person tournament. So like I mean it was only like 6 rounds to do a top 16, but they still had to get a good number of wins to make it there. So yeah, Murkrow maybe not a fraud. Maybe Prankster Tailwind can still do it. We don't see Prankster Tailwind doing well at all in any of the TPCI regions. It's really kind of falling off.
I mean,
thanks for letting me know. I didn't realize that. It said like 140.
And they both went 6 and 5.
2 Murkrows, you said?
Yeah.
Got it. Well, no, I just mean like Prankster Tailwind in general, because like there's like, you know, Whimsicott and like Talonflame, like, it falls into the Prankster the Tailwind category.
Absolutely.
It's not Prankster, but it's Prankster. So yeah, this team here is just Agati's team, like Agati's version of Agati's team. You know, people have run other version of Agati's team, like Torviv and Paul Chua, but Agati's had notably Choice Specs, Ninetales, and Choice Band Garchomp. I don't know if Agati ran Hypnosis on the Ninetales. That one doesn't sound familiar or not, but
no, it's definitely not.
I think it was Icy Wind.
Yeah,
oh,
I think
okay,
it is.
No, he was Ice Beam.
Oh,
Ice Beam. Okay.
Yeah. Well, if this is like a top 4 team, right, then like it does make sense, right? That it lost to like the Tailwind like kind of HO teams because they tend to like overwhelm it. But
next up, we have. Oh wait, no, we didn't. Talk
Do we
about
call this another 222?
The rain one or the?
No, not the rain one. The T-Tar, but it still has the.
Oh, we just might have been missing information. I was like, did they forget to put moves on the Indeedee? But we might just not know what the moves were, which is totally reasonable. Do really appreciate getting all this information though earlier than we would have had to wait to see it on Victory Road or another site. But yeah, this looks a lot like the other Spam team that we saw earlier. It doesn't actually have like a Prankster Tailwind mode, but still featuring Delphox and Dragapult. Sneasler, of course. Next up, we had a rain one. I'm just going to keep pulling a bunch over and talking about the standout ones, because this is kind of close to the team that won Baltimore. So, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. We got to talk about the next one, because the next one.
Wait. Is this Scarf Swift Swim though?
It does say it's Scarf Swift Swim. I don't know if that's an error or not, but like that is pretty cool, because you would outspeed Sneasler at that point, right? Like, yeah, you could outspeed the Psychic Seed Sneasler and just like one shot it with a Flip Turn or Wave Crash, probably. I'm hoping that Terra Water Flip Turn can Oko the Sneasler, because like, do I really have to commit to Wave Crash? Anyways, that Choice Scarf Swift Swim, if it's an error, like I understand, but also if it's not, that's really funny.
Look, sometimes the meta is just Prankster Tailwind, and you gotta go fast.
As fast as you can possibly go. Run Jolly.
And this meta is clearly that.
Actually, wait, does it need to be Jolly? I don't remember if 130... Does 130 clear 189? 130.
Yeah, 130 goes to 195.
Oh, wait, actually, how does Scarf factor in with Swift Swim? Or does it not matter?
I mean, they're both just multipliers.
They're just multipliers, right? So it doesn't actually matter the order. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I'm tripping a little bit. The next one.
For rounding, but it doesn't in this instance.
Last May, the Nationals also had nature on the team sheets. Oh man, it's just such a different game. Like, you can't even like practice that, you know? Like, I don't know. I mean, like, you can, like, you just practice like normal, and then you
just play the best of 3 ladder and discount games 2 and 3.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. But this one featured Specs Blastoise. Specs Blastoise with Water Spout. Just Blizzard. You know, there's so many Ninetales around. Somebody's gonna set up snow for you. And yeah, otherwise the rest of it does kind of like match a lot of the Tailwind teams that you might see normally. None of the Pokemon are that surprising here, except for Giraffe. I think Giraffe's still kind of meh, but yeah. Let me see what else. I'm just gonna click through here and grab the interesting ones. Let's see here. Somebody was running Michael Derbesti's team.
Yep. Oh, I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Then, yeah, Rap was using Vega's team, the Grimmsnarl Screens. It looks like Nick. I'm gonna pull this one over. This was. It's hard not to say that like. Was VJ in attendance when you see Meowscarada plus like Sylveon? I think that's on VJ's teams, right?
VJ's got those guys.
It's those two,
They're
but it
staples.
doesn't feature all of them, right? I think there's another one that's part of the core, isn't there? What's missing? Is it Tinkaton?
Yeah, Tink's. I think Tink got dropped for this format, but Tink's been there since the beginning. Otherwise,
Tinkaton the goat. And then the Baltimore winning team, and yeah, and then another rain team. So the rest of them were a little bit more predictable, at least to a degree. Murkrow and Snowscape, I actually don't know. Did this one? This one didn't have it. So to be fair, I don't know. Nick, as someone who's run Focus Blast before, do you think that people are a little too cowardly when it comes to running inaccurate moves?
they're definitely too cowardly about it. I think Blind Blizzard is perhaps a step too far, but they probably had a good reason for it. Like maybe they just need to snipe something through redirection. Like, so something that people don't think about often enough is it's way better to win 70% of the time than to win 30% of the time. And if you can get the game down to a Focus Blast hit, like 70 is bigger than 30. It just happens a lot more often. And so, especially if you're hedging that with best of 3, then you can really get there. These players weren't, but like I guess you only have to hit one. But yeah, it's I'm not sure that I'm gonna endorse Blind Blizzard, but I'm definitely not gonna turn it down. It's probably got situations where it's just good.
I just remember earlier this year at Nationals, ESM was running Hurricane instead of Air Slash on his Galarian Moltres. Just like not even like part of a rain matchup, like didn't have any way to make it accurate himself. Just needed the extra damage that came from the move, and accepted that, you're gonna miss sometimes. In fact, if Jeudy still has his headphones in, he can hear me mention that he only beat ESM on a Hurricane miss or something like that. I think that's how ESM tells it. So, anyways,
So like, also if it's OTS best of 1 and you're a Terra Dragon Gholdengo sitting in front of a Specs Blastoise, and like, I guess you just have to click a move this turn because some reason like they're maybe they're just doing something else that like you just have to keep up with the game pace. Like maybe just Blizzard being on the team sheet makes you not click the Terra Dragon and you just get water spouted.
Yeah,
But
I
like
can
there
respect
is
it.
some value in just team sheet bait.
I like that. I like that logic. All right. So one last thing I want to mention accuracy, because I forgot to talk about this earlier with Dragonite. Is the loaded scale knight, basically just loaded scale, whatever you want to call it. Loaded dice scale shot D Knight. Got really, really popular and is like definitely peaking in like Scarlet and Violet VGC this GC, and we'll probably see a good amount of it in at the regional this weekend. I'm the regional to be named. But I wanted to ask you guys, because you guys both ran it in the GC. I ran it in the GC as well. It has that 10% chance to miss, and so many people were complaining about it. Did it ever bother you that you were using a move that had a 10% chance to miss, or how did you really feel about it? I'll start with you, Mars. Why don't you tell me about it?
I liked it. I mean, when I was talking to Crawl and 45 Mice, they're really not behind the loaded dice. They thought it was like kind of bad, but like I don't know. I mean, just being able to like KO the Sneasler is like really good, and then just getting the speed boost and outspeeding everything is like really nice, and just the damage to it, and then like Dragonite doesn't have to like Terra, because I've like tested and played like the Terra Blast teams with like Dragonite and like E Speed and Low Kick or something, and I don't know, it just felt pretty bad for me. I guess at least my play style. Like yeah, like I felt like I always had to like save the Terra for it to actually be good. But with loaded dice, like um, 100 base power to like 125 is like really good. It just does a lot of damage, even to like the things that it resists. Like I think it still does like 30 to 40% to like no bulk Gholdengo. So I mean, and the chance of you getting like a crit in between one of those hits is really good. I mean, I don't know. I think I think it's really good. Missing kind of stings, but honestly, if you can position yourself where you could afford to miss one, like in the GC, I think I've missed only twice, but it didn't really matter because I was still pretty like ahead of the game, anyways.
Yep. What about you, Nick? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I lost 2 games to scale shot misses. One of them was to missing 2 in one game. And I would have won if I hit 1 out of 2 in that game. But on the flip side, I won so many games because scale shot was awesome. Like it just took kills. Like in DD Mail, I didn't have to worry about whether it was Scarf or Sash or some other set. Like I just scale shot it and it dies. Sneasler just gets O-code. The speed boost was awesome to be able to position with. Like against Dondozo, I could just go for the haze and then get a scale shot up, and now +1 speed D-Knight was in position to run over their Tatsugiri that may or may not have a focus sash. Regardless, I don't care. I'm just killing you. And it just it won me way more games than I lost off of it.
Yeah,
Scale shot D-Knight was phenomenal.
That's the real factor there, is that nothing quite does what this move does, you know? Like, you beat sashes, you get a speed boost.
It does just so many things. Like, it would be absurd if it was 100% accurate, but it's also kind of just absurd at 90. Like, I have 0 regrets about it, and like, E-Speed was pretty mediocre. It came up sometimes, but most of the time I was just spamming scale shot, and I have 0 regrets about it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I high rolled my scale shot accuracy or like really the dice rolls. Like it just was pretty average. I think partway through the tour, I was like, "Damn, I haven't been getting any of the 5 hits where a 5th shot would have just gotten an extra kill." But it was, I mean, even just 4-hitting it, 4-hitting with it was good enough. Very, very good move.
Yeah,
like you have to make sure that if you're using inaccurate moves, you're actually getting your money's worth. But scale shot is one of those cases where it's very worth it. Much like Dire Claw was earlier on. It just there's some times where fishing is really, really powerful if the payoff is good enough, and you have to be willing to opt into that. And because that's just one of the strongest things you can do.
Kazam says, expected damage with inaccurate moves seems like a fairly untalked about topic. I think it's because, I mean, like, I guess it applies better to the GC than maybe other contexts, but, like, expected damage is, like, if I played 1,000 ladder games, in my opinion. That's, like, how I look at it, is, like, you know, the expected value of this move, and it's like, well, I'm not clearing waves of minions in, like, a RPG or something, you know? Like, I'm playing, like, a very limited number of battles at a tournament, and so... it's a quite of a different context, at least in my opinion. Even though I've seen people talk about like the expected value of Fire Blast versus Flamethrower a number of times, I think it's just kind of weird to use for Pokemon, personally.
I'm totally down to talk about DPS for Pokemon. Like I use that to evaluate move strength. Like as Alex said, it's not the only factor to look at, but it's a pretty good first step, and you can use that to point you in a direction. And then like scale shot, for example, it's either a 90 base power move or a 125 over 90, or 125 times 0.9 rather, which is a 112 base power move. So it's just really good. It like flame charge, that's also stapled to like an average of 100 base power. Really strong, and also is multi-hit, so you get the benefit out of that into focus sashes. It's such a good move.
It's a loaded move.
It really is.
But yeah, I guess now let's go ahead and move on to talking about... I couldn't get the audio in and set up in time for Tub Takes, but
Gdańsk.
It says that Google is saying Gdańsk. I don't know. We were here a year ago, and I don't remember if that's like actually where we came out on this one. I'm really sorry. I think you do say the G though. It's not like a silent G.
Yeah, good thanks.
Gdansk.
Gdansk.
That's what I'm hearing. Gdansk. Gdansk. That's what I'm hearing. Okay. That's what Google tells me. We're gonna preview the regional that's happening in Gdansk this weekend. And is American pronunciation the only option? The British pronunciation. I'm sure that will be better.
Gdansk.
Wait.
Gdansk.
The British pronunciation says more like Gdansk.
Gdansk. Okay.
And then the American one is Gdansk. I mean, I'm an American, but also I have to agree with the British on this one? That's whack. I remember last year I would just refer to it as the regional in Poland. So the regional in Poland is happening this weekend. Regulation H, all the usual business. It is a regional, and I don't think any of us are going, so I don't actually know if we can look at the numbers. So because I can't remember if you could look at the numbers when you are not signed up. Never remember how to find it, but it'll be a reasonably sized tournament, probably in the usual range of around 700 players, I'm imagining. And I guess my question for you guys, I'll start with you, Jeudy. But do you think that the results and the sets stuff that we saw doing well in the GC, the second GC, are going to have an impact on what we see this weekend in Europe?
Well, yes and no. I think that the biggest impact of the last GC that we saw was actually AV Blood Moon. If you look at the results of Lille, there was 24 Blood Moons, and 11 of them were Assault Vest, tied for 11 Life Orb. And I think that this meta is reaching a point where it's getting pretty solidified on what's strong and what's expected to beat. And a lot of what was used this GC was kind of already really strong. So as much as I think that I think that it'll probably have given someone an idea or two, but I think it's nothing on the level of Assault Vest Ursaluna. But also we did have two regionals back to back, literally the last 2 weekends, which are probably going to have a bigger impact than what we will see with this GC.
I think that usually a week is not enough time to react to meta changes or new meta information, and build it into a team and understand how to play the team well enough to cut a tournament. The AV Blood Moon really showed up at the last GC, and the EU tournament that happened 1 week later was Dortmund, and Dortmund had almost no AV Blood Moon. And the two AV Blood Moons that we saw were just either direct rips or heavily inspired by my Grand Challenge team, and neither of them did especially well. So I'm gonna make the prediction that the Lille meta is already set, and EU, if you want to prove me wrong, go for it. But I don't expect much of the Grand Challenge results to really influence EU. I would make the same prediction for NA as well. But an NA tournament.
Yeah, you're just saying with the timeline, basically.
It's just a bit too fast.
What about you, Marco? What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you guys. I don't think we would get anything from this GC. Maybe gold, Scarf Gold. I can maybe see a few people start running that. I think Scarf Gold is really good in close and in open team sheet. But yeah, other than that, I don't really see anything people can pick up from this GC.
That was the one that came to mind, and I also thought of Loaded Dice D-Nights, which has already seen, I think, at least I think it might have cut both Louisville, and it did well in the other one, Lille. I think at least somebody did well with it in Lille.
There were 26 Dice Nights at top 56 in the wheel, and
so like
one in
it's
top
not
4,
an
one in
unheard
top
of set, but I still think that it might
Yeah.
see even more usage going forward. Like I think people are just really coming around to that set being
I
like
agree.
a meta
Yeah.
staple.
Yeah.
So I think that like even if it's a relatively mild take, it's a set that's seen success. I think that its usage is going to go high. Like I guess let me look at the victory
Yeah,
rate
no,
page
there
for
was
Leo's.
there was one loaded dice D-Night in top 8 at Louisville. Hi, Marco. And yeah.
I was
set
like, I
continues to be
believe
on
we
the
have
rise.
this. I was going to say, I believe we have this person
Yeah,
called.
I think we'll probably see more like Haze, and if anything, maybe
True.
they'll drop like the third attacking move and just go with Haze.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it stops a lot of like good setups. Like,
Yeah, no, I was really pleasantly surprised by how many applications Hayes had, even outside of just Dozo.
yeah, it was fair.
Even hazing your own defense drops did come up for me. I had I had a funny game in practice where I don't remember what I clicked with the Annihilate turn 1, but I scale shot, and like the King Gambit sword danced in front of me, and then the second turn I hazed on their sucker punch and coached myself after I'd gotten the speed boost, and that was a really good time.
Yeah, those are like the neat interactions you can get with like having the speed boost from the skill shot. Yeah, I really liked Haze. It's really nice.
Even simply, like I found that Haze was good for, letting a King Gambit, get those boosts early, whether it was from coaching or Swords Dance or your own Intimidate even, and maybe let it trade for one KO. Ideally, you get a KO in return. The thing is that the King Gambit has those boosts and can start to run away with the whole game. Dragonite comes in as just a nice little like stop, like hey, the boosts are gonna stop there. We're going to bring things back in order here. Haze was just so clutch in I guess random niche situations. It's pretty cool that way. I mean, just a good move.
I hazed my Gholdengo's drops as well once.
I did that a couple times.
Oh, true. Yeah,
Where,
you can
like,
also haze Make It Rains. You can technically haze Dracos if you stick Dragonite next to another dragon. I'm not sure what context I can imagine that besides like maybe an Archaludon. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Overheat, true. You can do overheat with like a Magmar, if that's like relevant. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's still there primarily just for Dozo, but yeah.
My team would use Haze to get rid of Intimidates on my Guts Bear. That was another thing that was cool that you can do. Like it's just again a very very flexible move. So I'm expecting I think Dragonite. I guess I went and pulled up the Leal usage because I was curious what Dragonite's numbers were at, and like while it was on the day 2 and day 1 graphic both times at 21%, I'm curious if it can go higher than that. Sneasler was at 51. Is that going up or down? What do you guys think?
Down.
I mean, it's still number 1, I think. And it's Europe. Truthfully, you can never be
right.
Whatever Marco Fierro and them are coaching, that's going to be the predominant team people are going to use.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna see some teams performing well that just found their good Sneasler counterplay.
I think we kind of saw that at Lil, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's just going to continue to be really important. Like, I'm not going to say Sneasler's not going to be number 1 usage. I don't really think it deserves it. I think that there's a string cheese guy who probably should be number 1 over Sneasler that happens to have a really good Sneasler matchup. But like, yeah, there's a lot of people mad at the Sneezy Boy, and yeah, I just think that countering Sneasler is going to be really powerful. Or just like running better Sneasler counterplay at the expense of like a little bit of what else you were doing on your team. And just making life hard for it because teams are pretty reliant on it. Like the old 1 King Gambit and 5 Sneasler counters type archetype or something similar.
All right, well, I guess we sometimes do smart monies for these tournaments. I forgot to actually, I think, put that in the notes here. So let's go ahead and do smart money. There we go. Starting with Mars here. Now, again, we're just kind of making guesses. If you don't know anybody for certain that's going or not, try to pick somebody that you know that's going versus not. But regardless, who do you got winning the regional in Poland?
I'm pretty sure Eric Rios is going, so I think I'm gonna choose Eric Rios.
Okay. Didn't you say you played against Eric in the GC as well?
I did, yeah. But I don't know if he's actually gonna bring that Dozo variant, but yeah.
Right.
I think I would probably put my money in Eric Rios. Definitely one of my favorite.
That's a good bet.
Yeah, Spanish players.
All right, Jeudy, throwing it to you.
Yeah, I think another person has like a really good team and like always like doing really good in Europe but hasn't won anything yet is Frederick Nielsen. I think that like he's really good and he has a really good team that's also pretty anti-current Sneasler. So I'm excited.
Frederick of the Hoj clan, is that who you're implying?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, good shout there. I think the Hoj brothers had a rough start at the first event, and then they like straightened up, and they're right back to form. They had a really solid finish at Louisville, and really like their team just is super uncomfortable to play against. That's what they're always aiming to do, is to create some annoying pins, especially with that Blood Moon. And they think that Nails is wrong, that everybody that was trying to say that Assault Vest is the way to go, they're sticking to the tried and true Life Orb. You're gonna have to hold this Terra Normal Blood Moon and figure out where you're putting it, because it's gonna do like 100 to whatever Pokemon's taking it. Nick, who do you got?
I am sticking with my European smart money every time. It's always Roxanne.
All
right.
Roxanne's a good pick there. And so I don't know. Gomez was on the bench for Lille, right? But I think, is he going to be at this one?
I believe so. From the recent stream him and Eric did, I think they both said they were going to go.
Okay. So yeah, I'll grab Gomez then. Gomez and I ended up using pretty similar teams in the GC. But I do not know that somebody was trying out, whether it was Gomez or a friend, trying out a team similar to that on the best of 3 ladder, and I think it seems like a cool team. Seems like a strong one. So would love to see it in action this weekend. So rooting for that one to go deep. And yeah, with that, then let's go ahead and move on to the last section here, which is the calc is right. Marco, do you know how this works?
Yeah, right. I think I just create like a situation, right? Like a calc, and you guys try to guess it. Yeah,
okay. that one, and then when you're one of the guessers, you just pick like a number in the range. So like the default calc here has Abomasnow's Blizzard doing 34 to 41%. So if you said 80, you would be wrong. If you said 40, you'd be in the range. You just want to you're just picking a number that's in the percentage range. That said, though, does anybody have one they want to start with, or
I think I got one.
Go ahead, Jeudy. What do you got?
All right, so I got a choice band in the rain wave crash into a Dragapult, just 4 HP.
Okay, and so it's in the rain. We didn't Terra, right?
Yeah. We did not Terra, just a clean wave crash.
Choice band wave crash into that. Okay. I got it. I got my number. No. This was not Dragonite, right? You said it was. Wait, was it Dragonite or Dragapult?
No, Dragapult.
Right. Yeah. Somebody. Okay. Somebody checked.
No, just swim. No depth ability there. Just a clean wave crash.
Yeah. All right. I'm assuming the Dragapult is like just no bulk, like 4 HP or something. I guess.
Just 4 HP banded. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I'm good to go.
Got a number.
I got one.
All right. Let's start with Marco.
I'm gonna say 102. I think it's knockout.
Okay. Alex?
I feel like it's gonna be like a roll that has a chance to not kill. I wanted 98. Just like it could, and maybe it reliably does, or like an 87% chance. But I think 98 is my number.
Yeah. And Nails?
I'm going 92. I'm in a similar ballpark as Alex, but I think there's a better chance that it just never kills than it always kills. So
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and run it
I'm
then.
just hedging a bit lower.
Dragapult.
I think, yeah.
Wave Crash in the rain. Adamant Choice Band. Wave Crash. Okay, wait. Are we all in there?
Yeah, you guys are all safe. It does have a very slight chance of KOing.
Oh man, I was on the wrong end of it. I said I thought it reliably, somewhat reliably KO'd, but we're on the other side. 25% chance to Oko. Marco's still in there though, despite going over 100. Just snuck in there. Nice. Well done.
Just snuck in, right? Yeah, I think it's interesting. Sometimes you're like, 25% chance to win. Like, let's go for it. Let's go for a turn one, right? Kind of insane. Yep. Don't do that. But this is how I learned that I can use Mystic Water or Life Orb, and Taro Water would still get the KO.
Yeah. I remember seeing Riley do that on the stream, and it was just insane to watch. Colin was getting washed away. All right, anybody else got one?
I'm working on it still.
I'm trying to think of one that happened in my GC run, something topical. But I can't think of anything that what am I going to tell you? Let's do a final Gambit calc. I don't know.
I mean, I was going to do a Rage Fist calc, and so I can jump in.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we had the Rage Fist Annihilate, but it was not particularly invested. Alex, I'll let you decide which spread goes in the calc for this.
It was just the Jolly 76 attack one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure if that was public info or not. And for the target, I think we're going to go with a Gholdengo that is Terra Steel and is 252 HP. And we got the it's Terra, but we got the actually no, in the game where it came up, I only had 3 Rage Fist stacks. So it's a 200 base power Rage Fist.
Okay. So they
I was going back ape Whimsicott a decent amount, and maybe something goes down, and then I send out the Whimsicott and I switch to ape and beat up or something like that. So we got 3 Rage Fist stacks, and not a lot of attack investment on this monkey. So do we pick up the Terra Steel Gholdengo?
Oh.
Max HP Terra Steel.
Max HP 4. Yeah. This is the type of stuff you got to figure out in the GC. So
it's
some weird situation.
I got a number, I think. Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna say.
Whoa! Jeudy has to confirm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm here. I got a number too.
Oh, do you have your number?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, Marco, you can lead off.
All right. I'm gonna say it does 86.
Jeudy, what you got?
I know this is close. This is close to a KO, but I feel like it's in the range to KO. So I'm gonna go 92.
And Alex, what do you think?
I should have the best answer, but I'm feeling the pressure. I was gonna say 75. I don't know. I've seen this one before. I think not exactly. I'm taking away 1 stack because I've seen it. With max stacks, or not max stacks, but the usual amount of stacks. 3 is a little less. I don't know. This one we had to deal with basically all versions of this, because this Annihilape sometimes would just attack with 1 stack, 2 stacks. It was kind of whatever you had going for it, kind of Pokemon.
Yeah, you just have to play the board.
But yeah. Let's see. I do actually have my GC team loaded in here. Funnily enough, that's what it was a very handy feature. Shoutouts to Nerdo now for building that in for the just the GC, especially when you're at home and you can run calcs during the set. What am I missing here? I haven't put any stacks on Rage Fist, so 3, and then we got a Terra neutral, I guess. Gholdengo, Steel Dragon, no difference.
Yeah. You don't know what it's going to tear into. You just know it's tearing into something.
No, but if it was normal, it'd be pretty drastic.
Yeah.
Or Terra Dark, I guess that's also similar. It's going to resist. Anyways, Terra Neutral. I'm seeing Nick 73 to 86. I think I got everything right.
I came up with as well. Yeah.
So I'm like right in there. I know my stuff. And also, Marco snuck in there. Let's go. I heard 86, 86.5. You're chilling.
I was say 85.
Yeah.
86. Oh, man.
Oh, wait. Alex got a good point. What if it was Terra Ghost? Yeah, that's true. I think it'd take a little bit more.
Shoutouts to Covered Cloak Gholdengo.
All right. Yeah, I guess it's just me and Marco now. And I don't know if I have a good one yet. I got to think.
I
you know
one.
What? All right, I got one mine next, but let's go with yours first.
Okay, yeah, this is like a little funny calc that happened to me. This was like back in Knoxville. What was it, like 2023, right?
Okay.
I think it was like so yeah, this is like a pretty old calc, but I thought this was like really funny because it happened to me in the tour, and so do I just tell you the EVs of the Pokemon, right?
Just paint the situation with all the information we need.
All right, so
basically.
you have a Terra Steel Fluttermane,
okay,
40 EVs HP, and then 252 defense.
Okay.
In front of Stone Joner.
Yo.
Animate. Okay. I guess I want to know if you guys know the calc how much low kick does to Fluttermane.
Oh, I love this. This is good.
Or is it modest?
Modest.
Modest Flutter, Adamant Max on the Stony.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adamant Max Stony.
Adamant Max Stony. Low kick into Steel Flutter with 4 HP, max defense, and modest.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I have my number. It's a bit of a weird, but yeah, I'm ready.
What was the Flutter spread?
4 HP max
4
defense.
HP? Yeah.
4 HP max defense. Okay. I got my number.
Okay. Jeudy?
I'm gonna say I'm locked in. I think it does. I'm gonna say 50. Yeah, it does. It's a 2 KO for sure. So I'm gonna go straight in the middle.
Okay.
I'm locking it in.
Nails?
I'm going 32. It's a max defense Flutter and 20 base power low kick. That is bouncing off.
Okay. Is it? Oh my god.
All right, Alex.
I never want to change my number, and so every time I hear an answer before me, I'm always worried. I have 20. Like I think this damage is pathetic. So let's go ahead and run it. Fluttermane. I think I'm gonna have to change the no spread is gonna compare to this one though. We're gonna have to change it. So 4-252, timid, same thing. Versus Stonjourner. Wacka's top 16 Stonjourner is of course the one we're gonna look at. It doesn't do any damage to start. Right now it says that it's immune. Oh, yeah, maybe we need to change the type. Steel here. No!
Oh my god.
No way! Wait, no. That's wrong. I had Fairy again still. Dynamite. No! I think we're all wrong though, right?
No, it's 21 to yeah.
20, yeah.
Man, I was close.
It happened to me. I forgot what round, but it was against Dev Patel, and I guess he was like so sure it was gonna KO, and I think I was like at 40 HP, and I lived it, and he was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, I just told him I swear, like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like max defense. Like you weren't killing me with low kick."
I mean, even if you were glass, like this isn't doing damage. Like, yeah, we take away all that defense and it's doing 36 max. Like,
yeah. Oh man, yeah, that was so funny. I couldn't stop laughing. Like
the rock slide does.
I didn't laugh, but I was like, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, actually, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, Zinkanik, I'm sorry, but 21, it was doing 21.6 minimum, so that we call that a miss, and Calc is right, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, all right. That oh wait, no, I have to do a calc, right? I haven't done a calc.
Yeah,
you do have to do a calc.
Okay. The calc. Oh yes, I remembered mine. So this is related a bit to something that I saw in my run. But I just want to know, like, Max Attack Ursaluna, Max Attack Ursaluna Adamant. How much is Headlong Rush without Flame Orb activated yet? Like turn 1 Headlong Rush, doing to Glass Sylveon, just like 4 HP Sylveon.
Ooh.
How much does the Sylveon take from a Headlong Rush on turn 1?
Okay, I got a number.
I played against a modified version of Wolf's team in the GC, and they stuck a Sylveon on there. Nails, I heard you're locked in. Jeudy, are you ready?
Marco, I zoned out for like a moment. Can you repeat the situation?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. That's fine. So it's just turn 1 Headlong Rush from my Ursaluna, so Max Adamant, no Flame Orb, into a Glass Sylveon. It's just Glass Sylveon. Well, I'm giving it 4 HP.
Okay.
Marco, are you ready as well?
No debuffs on the.
No stat changes. It's just turn 1. It was turn 1. Vivillon,
Yanmega versus Sylveon, mano a mano.
Yeah, like we both had our flying bugs on the board. It was actually Yanmega versus Vivillon, but
okay, I think I got one. I think I got it.
Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and start with Nails this time.
I'm saying it does 95. It feels like a roll.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna just move up here in camera order from the top, bottom to top. So Marco, what do you got?
I'm gonna go with 90.
By the way, Snoopy, the Vivillon was on my side, so the friend guard wouldn't impact the count. 90. All right, 90 from Marco. Jeudy?
I was 95 was mine. 94.
Okay. Let's run it. So Ursaluna here versus Sylveon. The reason I say it's glass is because I did just one-shot it. And so I was like, what kind of circumstances do we need to see to make this happen? Because like I was just like, I'll just take some chip, and then wait, no, the Flame Orb's gonna burn me no matter what. So good as gold. We just gotta turn off the item. Figgy Berry. Cool. All right, yeah. So I'm seeing 98.8 minimum to 116%.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
Wow.
So it's actually like, again, I don't know how often you're gonna fight Glass Sylveon, but it's actually a pretty reliable one shot there. Yeah, the number of, like, I think through my GC run I got like 6 to 8 turn 1 Headlong Rush Okos. Some of them were against Pokemon that you would expect it to happen against, like a Gholdengo. But yeah, just I Headlong Rushed this Sylveon and it dropped, and like I didn't know how to feel. My opponent was probably just like, huh? You're supposed to protect turn 1. I'm supposed to be safe on this turn. It was really amusing to see. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this week's episode of Tub Takes. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you to Marco especially for coming in on such short notice. And we're gonna throw you guys over to Tapo Wapo. Oh yes, I did forget to mention the emote at the top here. We do have a new emote. I think it's one of the free ones, so I think anybody can use it. It's Meow, by the way.
Oh, Meow.
And
okay.
Yeah, he's just looking real handsome there. That's Vern for you.
We got a cute little kitty.
That's where Vern is.
Nice.
It's in chat now.
Speaking of cute little kitties, Marco, I did see a cat climbing your window.
Oh
a
yeah,
couple minutes ago.
Yeah. I have 3 cats.
3 cats? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense with the cat painting in the background now.
Yeah, we have a white, black kitty cat and an orange. Kind of like the Aristocats, like the little baby ones. It just kind of happened, to be honest. But yeah, we have 3 little babies.
That's awesome.
I'm a
big kitty fan.
Yeah, they have the little crib over there too. They like to jump pretty high, so we have that over there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All I forgot to mention this before starting the raid, not that it matters, but yeah, this will be on YouTube. If you joined in late, I can't say anything for certain. Adi is currently on vacation, that's why he's not here on the episode, so and he's the one that handles the YouTube upload. So please be patient if it's not uploaded tomorrow or soon after. I'll check with Adi to see what what the plan is, I guess, but he's on vacation. I'm not gonna try to rush him or anything.
Yarb.
Yeah.
And otherwise, that's going to be it from us, guys. So say hi to Topo for us, and peace out. Catch you guys next time. Later.